for nearly a decade now. One of the things which I learned early on, also informed to me by our senior lawyers, is that we don't want any suspects, prevention of suspects under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, to be sent to the Bussa detention prison, because a Bussa detention center is a notorious high security prison which has a history of detaining suspects under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, which has a history of torturing persons who have been detained within its walls. And there has been instances where prisoners who were kept inside the Bussa detention were extrajudicially executed by the state. So therefore, very early on I learned Bussa prison is not a place where you want any prisoner to be sent to. Yesterday, as lawyers representing Vasantha Mudalige, we credibly learned that Vasantha Mudalige is going to be sent to Bussa detention center. It's very interesting why the state has decided to send a young boy who was responsible for bringing life to the Aragalaya, who was a leader in the Aragalaya, to this notorious high security prison. Particularly after December 12th, when his case was called to the Magistrates Court of Colombo, and it transpired that the state did not have an iota of evidence to hold Vasantha Mudalige accountable for any offence, let alone offences under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. So now the state is scrambling to save its face after detaining Vasantha Mudalige for over 100 days. The state is scrambling to save its face, and now they are sending it to Bussa to create this huge image that Vasantha Mudalige has been responsible for this large crime or offence which he has not committed. At this point, I also want to inform the public as to what Vasantha told me when we went to see him in prison. He said the first 3 days of him being arrested, from the police station which was supposed to keep him, he was taken to 7 other places, one place to the other. And during his transfer, from one place to the other, without any kind of judicial oversight, the officers who took him there has also threatened him and told him that this is how we had executed Madhush and so on. So this is what the state did to Vasantha Mudalige on the first 3 days of his detention, unlawful detention in prison, because at that time there was no detention order, unlawful detention in prison, in the police station, where they have taken him from one place to the other without any kind of judicial oversight. In the legal system of Sri Lanka, whatever crime may be, from a petty theft to a serious crime, there are few basic presumptions which you draw. One of the basic fundamentals of that presumption is that presumption of innocence, and also however much serious offense you may have committed, you have the protection of the judiciary and judicial orders. Vasantha Mudalige was denied even the most fundamental basic protection which our criminal law affords to even the most serious of offences and cases. Finally, I want to touch on the Prevention of Terrorism Act. The Prevention of Terrorism Act from its inception has been used to detain, torture, disappear innocent persons. Vasantha Mudalige, Siridhamma and Hashan are no exception. Vasantha continues to be the victim of the Prevention of Terrorism Act. But one of the interesting things about the Prevention of Terrorism Act is it says that if you even associate yourself with a suspect, then you are also a terrorist. So, Ranil Wickremesinghe issuing a DO on Vasantha Mudalige, what he has effectively done is to make all of us who are in the Aragalaya also terrorists. Because by our very association with Vasantha, we are also automatically terrorists under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. So I don't think we consider ourselves as terrorists. So I urge all of you to speak out against what is happening to Vasantha, because the dark chapters of the PTA has been opened in the south, just like it was opened in the north and the east and the upcountry. Now it has been opened in the south. And this is the first step to this long dark days we are looking into. So better late than never. It's good that we start speaking against it now and come on board and voice against this illegal detention and torture which Vasantha Mudalige has been subjected to under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. Thank you.